So today we're going to be looking at a brand new book. A book with pages and a book with many pictures and printed words in it. Now the reason I'm perhaps speaking in this way is a tribute to its actual author and creator, and that is Nostalgia Nerd. You will know him as Nostalgia Nerd, and he has this amazing new book out. Considered and thought through, I expect it will be. Right, now I'm going to start speaking in my perhaps more normal kind of speaking voice, but that's probably the kind of considered sentences that you'll get when you head over to Nostalgia Nerd. And before we start going into the book, and you can see me flipping the pages there, have a look at his YouTube channel and you'll get a real background as to why this book has ended up exactly where it is. Now let's start at the back, shall we, at the index. Always good to have a lovely index in a book, I must say, and this one has it all. So let's actually get into the book itself, and we'll start at the front. Always good to have contents as well as an index, and this has it in spades really. The whole book is set up for anybody who's really interested in old systems. It describes itself as the greatest old systems from Atari to Xbox, or all the greatest old systems from Atari to Xbox. So it's kind of like an A to X rather than an A to Z. And you've got computers, consoles and the games. So it's not just the hardware, it's actually the games itself, and there's a nice little way that it does this throughout the book. So the actual book is lovely presented, it's very nicely printed, high quality print and reproduction. And as I said, you've got Xbox to Atari, so it's done in an interesting way in terms of the chronological aspect of it. And I think that's a very good way to look at things when you're looking at history of gaming. One of the things that I personally did, and you can see here, is I started to get out some of my computers, some of which play very regularly, some of which I perhaps don't. And this is the nice thing about this book, it's a gentle reminder of consoles and computers that you may have owned but perhaps haven't revisited for a while. And I'd say that with a lot of gaming books, they do give you that inspiration to go back and rediscover some of the hardware, and I guess you've got here the games themselves to play and to enjoy, and or just have a look at, just to get into. I mean, there's the Jaguar there. Not everybody's cup of tea, but I have a Jaguar. I've had one for a while, and I personally quite like it. And you can see me there getting a copy of Jeff Minter's Tempest out. Why not? And I played it afterwards as well. So yeah, it's a fun kind of little notebook in terms of that sense, but it's more than that, because it gives you the games, the must-haves, the must-sees, and the must-avoids. I mean, some of the must-avoids, let's look at those as well and play them, because some games, even though they're terrible or awful in the sort of grade of the game, it's still a good game to try out. It's not necessarily a good game to play, but why not to play it? And then you've got variants as well, so like, this is the PS1 after the main PlayStation release. I've got a few of these lying about, and yeah, I just kind of got it out, and again just thought, yeah, that's an interesting shape, interesting machine. Why don't I just try that one out again? Haven't seen that for a little while, and got it out and played it. So that was fun to do that. So just to say, when I said it was A to X, it's not actually in A to X order, it's in chronological order. So yeah, just a little reminder there. Anyway, back into the book. The Saturn was an amazing system, in my opinion. I owned a Saturn before a PlayStation, and there were some brilliant games for it, and this highlights some of those fantastic games. You've got to go back and revisit Sega Rally. You have to go back and look at Nights into Dreams, because why not? They're fantastic games, especially Christmas nights, if you've got a copy of that to play around this time of year, sort of creeping up to Christmas. But going back to computers, so outside of the consoles you have the ZX80, and again I fiddled around and found my ZX80 just to say, hey, you know, I haven't seen you for a while, let's come back and have a look at you and see what a beautiful looking computer you really are. So here it is here, and say go and grab it, go and have a look at it, and the book will kind of give you that inspiration very much to rediscover the computer and the games. So it's, you know, there are games to play even on these very, very early systems. It's also worth mentioning that even with consoles that you really know about, say take the Mega Drive, there's things like the fact sheet on the actual page, which includes the manufacturer, kind of CPU, some tech details really, and that's more interesting than just getting the game only. Not knocking just getting the games only, but you've got a bit more information there, and it really is going to take you from Atari to the Master System to the SNES to the Mega Drive all the way through to the Xbox to get this full story from the book overall. I must say I was mightily impressed that they even did a piece on handheld at the back, with Game & Watches being a big part of my life, so it's good to see those represented as well, because whilst this is not a handheld console collection, it does obviously make a nod to the handhelds, which are a big part of every gamer's life, depending on when you started. Game & Watch was a big one for us, certainly. So in summary, the book itself does live up to its reputation of what Nostalgia Nerd is doing on his YouTube channel. It gives you that exciting period of history from the origins of computing and gaming right up to the Xbox, which is now fairly old but still is regarded as a kind of new retro. This covers very old retro, so you're going right back to, you know, almost the dawn of time, if you like, when it comes to computing. And that's what I like about this. It really does give you the same sense of feel that you get from the YouTube channel. So go and check it out. It's available, there's a link below in the description. Hope you enjoyed this little overview.